Oh, morning, everybody. Yeah, Dr. Freedom here with you. Once again, back to adventures in the parking lot. I wasn't sure what I was going to talk about this morning because we already know the show's confirmed for Easter. We can pretty much bet on the fact it's going to be 2 p.m. on BBC One, 7 p.m. on BBC America. And like I said, I died laughing because they tried to take the to be announcing off the page for the scheduling. Like, no one's going to notice these, couple of hour gaps here and there, or these hour gaps that are spaced out here and there on BBC America. And it's like, no, no, no. Don't ignore that. Don't look at that. But I was just sitting here skimming through all these stuff, and someone who we all know and love, and like I said, I'm not going to mention any names, is sitting there going on about the Sun article being exactly what we needed because, and remember in the Sun article they're saying that the BBC are not hyping the show enough and all that, and I'm sitting there like, this person is sitting here agreeing with the Sun, which was not, beyond belief in itself because they too have pumped out more fake journalism than the Sun. But then they're like, oh my God, going on about how the BBC should have done that, blah blah blah. What do you call it? Spoilers. I'm like, here's a guy whose every other video had the word like leak, spoiler, and all that in the title, who's been trying to make a living off of spoilers that don't exist. And yet he's going on about how the Sun is the best thing since sliced bread. I'm like, dude, you've been faking people out for how long now? Telling them these bogus stories about how you got this, you got that, when nobody has jack squat. It's like the game has changed now. Literally the team has changed fields. Okay, it's you know you're not anywhere even in the same ballpark as where you were last year, because like me, you've got no sources. You're basically throwing darts at a board and hoping it comes up true. Now me, I'm sitting here soaking in all this information. I'm doing the best I can because right now, like I said, everything's moved over to Bad Wolf. So which means all those people who used to slip you a little thing every now and then over at the BBC studios, you know, there's no point. They're not in the game anymore. They've been benched. They're so if anyone does come forward who's legit, and once again, I have to sit there and go through this process because I don't know how many times I've had people trying to tell me I've done this, I've done that, and I'll leak you information, and it's sitting there, and they're basically feeding me a bunch of stuff that I wish I'd see, and it's like that right then I know for a fact it's like it's total bull. Um, like I said, it just amazes the crap out of me. Some of the things people do online to make their wieners wiggle. It just, like I said, you've unleashed, in the internet age, a whole new type of bully who can sit there from like 2,000-3,000 miles away, threaten, harass you, do anything like that, but there's nothing you can do about it because, unless you get a plane ticket, find out where they live, and then oh God, yeah. And that's it's another thing that's still disturbing. How many people are siding with Will Smith? I'm like, guys, if I was allowed to walk up and smack the shit out of anybody who said something offensive to me, I would be in prison, jail, or well, if I actually did that in real life, is what I mean. Now, if I was allowed to do it, that'd be a whole different thing. But I would be sitting in prison for assault or in the local Poo Scout. It's never acceptable behavior. like I said, Chris Rock is a comedian. He's made a living at this for quite a while. It's obvious. I don't think he had any knowledge of any medical condition that was present in Jada Pinkett Smith. But like I said, somebody assumed, and they made an ass out of you and me. That's what happens when you assume things. Let's get off that subject. We all know how that went. So right now, like I said, we've got some stuff coming out in Doctor Magazine. Some interesting photos here and there. If you look around, you'll see them. They're all over the place. I've been posting as many as I can over on the Dr. Freedom Facebook page. I also threw a few up on the YouTube website. So look under the community page, and there it is. You'll see it. But I don't know. Like I said, it's just a weird, weird world we live in. But I'm loving how the whole world was focused on that moment, though, the whole thing. And it's like, yeah, Mark, yeah, like this guy has any info on what's going on over at Bad Wolf Studios. Just like the guy who somehow magically wound up on set for the one, filming, and the one guy who mysteriously had footage that was going to be put on the news a few weeks later and was describing the sonic screwdriver. Sorry, that guy is out in the cold right now. And the thing is, it's like, well, there's other people who know what that feels like certain, show hosts who, got tossed out on their ear when Chibnall and all that came in. And, well, they just got moved to a different department, so to speak. And then began to, holler, jeers at the, the Chibnall ear and all that. It's like, you're hollering cheers at the Chibnall at the Chibs because, they don't want your thing anymore. Everybody, has been also throwing all these weird, strange. I'm not talking about that subject. Okay, you asked what happened to the fan show. The fan show was effectively shelved when Chibnall and all that came in. And I do not, like I said, it's been a while, so I don't remember what the exact reasons were. It may have been also because, they didn't want anyone having direct access, to that type of information because it was starting to get, I don't know if they were leaking information or what was going on, but it's kind of weird how somebody who got picked to host it, and when they're a member of a group of people who've done nothing but belittle and, treat other Doctor Who fans like imbeciles. But I don't know. Maybe they're trying to cash in. I don't know what it is. But yeah, it was shelved in, and then sure enough, certain people, suddenly didn't like Chibnall or Whitaker and were saying these things, of course, behind closed doors. Little did you know that a few of the people you were saying this to. But like I said, it was sour grapes, and it's obvious. It's that whole thing's been. I'm glad to be not part of that because it sucks anyway. I'm like, really? But I'm not going to go into all that. God, it just reminds me of that one guy who was accusing another set reporter of being a stalker and all that. Meanwhile, he had not one, not two, not three, not four, but 5 pictures with Peter Capaldi when he was on set. Matter of fact, the one picture he got when someone called out and said Peter's over here at the fan expo, or at the way you call it, the Doctor Who exhibition, and he immediately dropped everything and ran over there. And yet he's got the nerve to turn around and call someone else a stalker because he waved hi at Jodie as her car left the BBC. And he was on his way out because he was working to get a job there. So he had a legitimate reason for being there. And then they accused him of following her and all this. Oh, that was all a big mess back in the day. Oh man, like I said, it was just amazing to me some of the things that happened back at the transition era. But I don't know. Some folks are now even speculating that what if the Doctor somehow regenerates into two people? And it's like, okay, now if they did do something like that, okay, it would be something radically different. But how are you going to resolve that at the end of the day? Is it going to be kind of like a Tuvix deal from Voyager? Or, but that's just speculation that's running around out there. But once again, like I said, I just popped on here today. Like I said, we already know that the show's confirmed to return Easter now. We have a pretty good idea of when it's airing. We do know the Sea Devils are involved, which is great because they've kind of like been in, out there. Oh goodness, ever since Warriors of the Deep. Like I said, as much as I like the story for Warriors of the Deep, it's just I know they were working on a budget, and come on, you had the Merca, who's literally the paint was the skinny, the grease paint or whatever they use was still drying. God, and that ninja bad karate fight with Ingrid Pitt made me want to gag. And as I've said 100 times before, the Merca, they might as well have ran out Secretariat from the Craig Ferguson show. They'd have probably had a better result. It was one of them things that, okay, this looks good on paper, and then when they put it on film, on video, oh my God, what have we done? But like I said, that's neither here nor there. All I know is this, folks, it's a very fickle fandom, and your best thing to do is just rise above it and go, hey, enjoy the show. Don't be like one of them guys who has to sit there and say, okay, I don't like, or make up some top secret hidden political agenda and use fancy words like woke, SJW, and crap like that to try to sell hatred. Just sit back, enjoy it while you have it, and if it's not a good episode, do what I do. Move on. It's like, it's okay to look back, and say, okay, that one wasn't that good, that wasn't that good. But every showrunner in the history of this show has had, their way called share of rotten eggs. And to sit there and say, well, Chris Chibnall had more rotten eggs than everybody else. And trust me, I was shocked they got away with half the garbage they did in Moffat era. I was shocked they made it past the farting aliens in the RTD era. But that's my opinion on the whole thing. Well, folks, I have got to run. I just looked and realized what time it is. So, everybody, please take care of yourselves out there. Be kind, be calm, be safe. Above all things, be kind. There's too many weird things going on in the world to be, hating on somebody else or hating on something else. And think of those folks over there in Ukraine if you think you've got it bad today. So, until next time, I hope to see you all in the future. Have a good one. Take it easy, folks.